Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about the books that I read in the month of April. I do this video every single month. I like to talk about the books that I read the month previous. So if you want to subscribe, just scroll down just a little bit and click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed these Read With Me videos. So I read 3 books in the month of April. It is so hard to keep track of all these months. Like, I feel like the months are just flying by, so it's like so hard to be like, wait, is it May? Is it April? What month is it? Anyways, okay, so the first book that I read is by Sarah Addison Allen. This is a book called Garden Spells. I've read a few of her books before. If you've never read her books before, she is a very unique writer. I'm trying to figure out like how to talk about this book without it sounding super weird. So a lot of her books involve magic and people who have certain powers, but they're not, it's like real life people, like we're in this kind of day and age or whatever, but they're not like witches or anything like that or wizards and stuff like that. Like they just, so the book, I'm trying to figure out like how to talk to this, because this was a good book and I don't want to like weird you guys out about it. So this is about the Waverleys, the Waverley family, and so they live in this gorgeous house that has been passed down to them through the family and stuff like that, and the things that are grown at the Waverley house have certain powers. And so Claire is one of the daughters. She lives at the house, and so she is actually a caterer. She cooks and everything, and she can cook her meals to kind of bring out different emotions in people. So say I want my boyfriend to come over and I want him to love me. I want him to love me. So I would have her cater that meal, and the type of foods that she would use in that meal would kind of heighten those senses for him to kind of show him like, oh, I love this girl kind of thing. There's all sorts of different ones. There's like love, there's anger, jealousy. I mean, there's all sorts of different stuff that she can use from different plants to do that. So that kind of makes sense power-wise. I don't know. And then they have this tree in the background, and the apples that fall from the tree, if you take a bite from that apple, it will tell you your greatest moment in your life. And it could be a good moment or it could be a bad moment, but it will show you kind of like in a dream what your life is going to be like. So it's powers like that, if that makes sense at all. So basically, let me tell you about the story now. Claire is just, going about her life, and one day her sister shows up that she has not seen in years, and they've just had a big falling out and we're just not doing well. And her sister shows up. She doesn't know why her sister has all of a sudden shown up and come and brought her daughter and everything, and so it's kind of like them like working through everything, and her sister trying to bring Claire out of her shell because she's kind of holed herself up because of things that have happened to her in the past. And it was a really interesting story. I don't think I gave like 5 stars to it, but it was just like a really interesting, fun read. I really want to read her book. It's what's it called? First Frost or something. I've been trying to get my hands on it for a long time, and I just like cannot find it anywhere, and it's driving me crazy. But anyways, yeah, I just thought it was an interesting book. If you want something really quick to read and just a little bit different that's still chick lit, you might want to try this out. The next book that I read is by Elizabeth Berg. It's called Open House. I actually picked this up because it's one of Oprah's book club books, and I just love Oprah, as you guys know. So I thought I would grab it and read it. So this book is about, what's her name? Samantha. So Samantha is living the life. She has a great, beautiful home. She has a husband. She has a son. And her husband decides he's going to leave her. So they're getting a divorce and everything. And her husband moves out. And so it's her just trying to figure out what she's going to do. She's never been single, or she's not been single in years, And so she wants to keep her house, but she's not sure how to pay for it because she's never had to work or anything. So she opens her house up to people to rent rooms from her. So she gets these roommates. And so the story is just about her figuring out herself and figuring out how she's going to do life without her husband, and then just kind of like how her thought process is with her son and trying to explain to him like what's going on, and then her interactions with her different roommates that come in and out of her house, basically, and just her trying to figure out how to love herself and that she's worth something. So it was a pretty good book. It's not my favorite book I've ever read. I'm not sure how many stars I got it. I'm on Goodreads, so that's listed down below if you guys want to go follow me so you can see the stars that I gave these books. So yeah, not my favorite book ever, but it was an interesting read, and I think I've read better books than it, but just want to tell you all about it. And then the last book that I read this month is called Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. So Kristen Hanna is also the author of The Nightingale. So that's a really super popular book. And so if you've heard of that, same author. She writes really big books, by the way. I have a few of hers. I actually reviewed her book, a book of hers, I don't know what month that was. It was last year though, but I read The Winter Garden, and it is such a good book. So I highly recommend that as well. But we're talking about Firefly Lane this time around. So I got this book and then True Colors. I've got both of them at Goodwill. And I thought I'd just pick them up. And so I picked this one over True Colors because it had an average of over 4 stars on Goodreads. And after I started reading it, I figured out why. I read this so fast. For like how big this book is, I read it so fast. Like I would say less than a week. And so this book is about 2 best friends who meet in middle school. One is just kind of, she's an outcast. People don't really like her. She's kind of nerdy, geeky, you know, like that kind of personality. And this girl moves in across the street, and she turns out to be one of the most popular girls at school. Her mom just lets her do anything, dress however she wants. She's just super popular. All the boys like her, you know, that kind of thing. And they just meet one day, and their names are Kate and Tully. So one day, Kate and Tully meet, and Kate finds something out about Tully that Tully doesn't want anyone to know. She's just hidden from everyone her entire life, and Kate just kind of accepts her and doesn't judge her for it, and Tully just really grasps onto that. And she is just like, Kate is actually leading the life that I've always wanted. She has a wonderful family that cares about her. And it kind of makes Kate like think about herself, like, what? Like, but you're so popular, you know? And it's just them kind of going back and forth, like, the grass is not always greener kind of thing. And so they just become really good friends. And it's, the entire book is their entire life. So they start out in middle school and it ends when they're a lot older and they have kids and they have careers and stuff like that. And it's just how they go through life together and their friendship throughout, and just some really horrible things that happen to them along the way, but a lot of really good fun things happen to them too. And it's just a really, really good book. It's really well written, and it goes back and forth between who's talking, which I really like as well. I love knowing what different characters are thinking. I don't like it as much when it's just one character talking the entire book. So I really enjoyed that well because you can kind of see what's going on in everyone's minds. But anyways, I highly recommend this book. I think I gave it 5 stars. Really, really, really enjoyed this book. She's a great author, so I don't think you could go wrong with really any of her books. I've now read 2 of them, and they're both absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to read her 3rd one that I have, True Colors. I'm not sure if I'm going to read it next month or not, but I'm excited to read that just because these books were so good. But anyway, so those are the 3 books I read this month. Leave any comments down below with books you think I should read, or if you've read any of these, or if you've heard of them, or anything like that. I love talking about books with you guys. I love to read and all that kind of fun stuff, and you guys know that. But don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.